Hey everyone. So it was something that I heard a while ago. It says whenever you're doing a video or anything like that, um, like making movies and whatnot, they tend to take a ton more footage than they really need to. Really, I use that so often in video, in movies. They take a ton more footage than they really need, and that's increased with digital stuff. And the reason why is for editing, because you could take a scene, let's say there was a famous movie that came out years ago, where a guy kicks an orc's head, and I'm sure many of you know what movie this is. Uh, in that movie, they had to do that take multiple times, and at the last final take, which they found to be perfect, he broke his the actor broke his toe, but it was the perfect take, so they kept it. Um, you don't take the first take and you say, okay, let's call it good. Sometimes it takes many. Sometimes it takes a lot of tries in order to get it right. Right now, I'm rambling currently because I'm trying to get a feel for what it's like to talk in front of a camera. Because when you're talking in front of a camera, you're actually talking in front of a lot of people. Right now, I'm actually talking on my iPhone, because that's what I can afford right now. Maybe down the line in the future, I'll have more stuff, but the thing. See, I don't really know anything about content creation. I've dabbled in it a few times. I've put a few things out there, but nothing, in my opinion, nothing substantial. I mean, there have been a few things that hit really well. Really. There have been a few things that hit really well. Where my YouTube channel first took off is with a guy, Chris, I'm sorry, man, I forgot your last name, but he used to do the plunger challenges. He'd go around and throw plungers at signs. And with that, it was really cool. He came into our store. I don't think I'd ever actually seen any of his content. I'd heard of it, but I'd never actually seen any of it. And he asked to throw plungers at the sign, and I was with one of the guy in the store, and I was like, yeah, let me talk to my manager. So I did a little spin. I was like, yeah, sure, go on ahead. And he gave me a shout out on his channel, and it threw my subscribers like really high. I thought it was so cool, but I knew I was riding on someone else's fame, and it felt good. For numbers wise, it gave me that boost of ego. But at the same time, again, I was writing someone else's fame. And so maybe that was why I haven't really created too much since then. Yeah, I've dabbled with it, I've tried it. Right now, I mean, obviously I'm not, spit and polish and all that, because I'm starting from ground level. I have a ladder, a box, a monitor behind my phone, and I have a little 5-pound weight keeping my phone from falling over. That's what I have right now. This is where I'm starting from. What I want to create, I don't know yet. This is a rough draft. This is in writing. A lot of times, at least from my experience of writing when I was in college, for the short time I was in college, what it is not even a rough draft, because a rough draft means you have an idea, but you're putting it down on paper. Right now, I forget the term. If any of you writers know, put it down in the description. You know what it is. I'm probably going to edit this later. But I don't know. I don't know. Because I think far too many people they only see what other people want them to see. And even in my case, that would be true. I could carefully edit this and put it out there, being like, hey, I want to make myself look good, all that stuff. But sometimes being raw, being not aggressively raw, not mean, not cruel, not horrible, or even over the top. Sometimes when a person thinks raw, they think over the top. No. In this case, raw is just letting people see your faults, letting people see who you are. I think that's really important. Some of my older posts are talking about the fruits of the spirit and how important those are in a relationship. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. That's the way I memorized it. It always hits my ear wrong when someone says it in my eyes, out of order. And it's like, oh, wow, that doesn't sound right. But they still get them all. See, for example, that right there, I had a lot of dead air. So that would be something that I would probably edit out, because it's like, I go for a long time without saying anything. Some people is like, oh, that's raw. That's raw. Yeah, but it's unnecessary. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about in my content creation, but I do know that I want to start. I need to start somewhere. I have to start somewhere. This hasn't necessarily been a passion of mine. I was born in 1980. So I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the early 2000s. I matured in the early 2000s. And now that we're in the 2020s, going through there, I need to pivot. I've had lots of jobs. And there was a time that I could do it with relatively no issues. Now I'm kind of to a point where I'm having difficulty working. I think that's true of a lot of people. Some of it is for selfish reasons. Some of it is just they try and try and try. And they try to make that effort, but it's just not making it. You could do gig work, but gig work requires a lot of self-motivation, and some people don't have that. And I think part of what's happening is our culture is sort of stifling that. There is far too much ability to just stay home and do nothing. There were far too many people who knew how to work the system to where they didn't have to work. And then you have had, hopefully, a whole movement where it's like, oh, it's fine. You just be you be injured, you just be who you are. It's like, well, if you identify as somebody who just can't even. If you identify that way, then, well, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So this is the direction that I'm taking. I'm going to see if I can make more of myself than I currently am. I know some of my strengths. I know some of my weaknesses. One of my strengths is the ability to talk to people, the ability to communicate, the ability to relate in some cases. I know I'm not going to relate to everybody because you just can't. Nobody relates to everybody. Anyone who thinks that way, they're fooling themselves. Or they're chameleons. You really don't want to be around those people. I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to try and do it more often. I've been watching a lot of different YouTubers. I've been consuming a lot of YouTube. I think it is very much about time that I go from consuming to producing. Am I jumping into a pool with a lot of other people? Yeah. Yeah, I am. But it's gotta, in my opinion, it's gotta happen. If you like this stuff, if you like what I post, all of that, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. I'm not sure exactly what direction I want to take with this. I mean, I've thought about doing like movie reviews, or not reviews, but like a lot of some other YouTubers have done, where they watch a movie and they react, like movie reactions. There you go. There are quite a few YouTubers that have done the movie reaction thing. Okay. If I get to that point and I decide to go in that direction and it's still a thing, then yeah, I'll do it. I am trying to get more healthy. If that's a direction that I decide that I want to take myself in, that's what I'm going to do. It's all a matter of where. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be phony. No, you never want to be that. You never want to try and force yourself to be someone else, to make other people happy. That is stupid, in my honest opinion. It's stupid. I know a lot of people don't like that word. But trying to make yourself into somebody else to make someone happy, no. Now, if there's genuine things about yourself that are not good, that are unhealthy, then okay, change those things because they're unhealthy. Not because somebody told you to, not because it's... Do it for you. Do it for you. For me, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian who loves the Lord, who loves Jesus Christ with all of his heart, soul, mind, and body. Am I perfect? No. But that is a hill that I will die on. I love my kids dearly. I have 3 of them. I love my family dearly. Some of the content that I might go over is, nature. I love nature. I love nature. I want to go on more hikes, more walks. If I can do camping, I really want. I love camping. I grew up with camping. It always ended up in the rain, but I love camping. And I want to do more of it. I want to get back into that. I want to take my kids camping if they want to go. I do know how to cook. I want to get healthy. I'm getting better at the health thing. I think that's what I need to do for content creation, is to just be me, to live my life, show you my life. See what happens, see where it goes. But anyways, I got at least 20 minutes of footage. Let's see how much editing I do. I'm going to leave this on here. I'm going to leave this. And also me talking about editing and how little editing I might do. Well, maybe. I don't know. But we'll see in the end how much I cut versus how much I keep. But I will still try and keep it as raw as possible. Anyways, yeah, love y'all. If you like this content, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate I appreciate the comments that people have left so far. And thank you. Bye for now.